You can find beauty all around the Houston area. In public art created on unusual canvases, in decades-old architecture brought back to life, in the stories of our past, in the constellations in the sky. The list goes on. Hey there, I'm KHOU 11 digital anchor Brandy Smith. For this episode of Hidden Gems, we'll travel from Rosenberg to Galveston to downtown Houston. Let's start with a project bringing art to neighborhoods all over our area. On a brutally hot August morning, artist Santiago Perez found shade where he could as he mixed paint to put the finishing touches on his latest work.
It's about the colors of the Black community, the success of the Black community, the vibrancy of the Black community.
The conditions weren't ideal.
Oh, it's kind of rough.
But Perez pushed through with the help of his wife.
It's fun. It's great. I love it. I mean, I cannot. This is the reason why I came to United States, though.
To share your art.
To become an artist.
His canvas isn't a traditional one. It's a traffic signal control cabinet, the kind you see at intersections all over town. This one's at 5th Ward, right at I-10 in Waco.
The people stop, they take pictures, they ask questions, you make friends.
This is what your average traffic signal control cabinet looks like. Kind of dull, gray. You don't really notice them, but with the help of the city of Houston and local artists, Up Art Studios is turning these things into works of art.
Within the city of Houston metropolitan area, we're almost at 400.
And how many artists are you working with?
Over time, it's probably been close to 100 artists.
Elia Keelis and her husband co-founded Up Art Studios.
Originally, our mission was to help graffiti artists make that transition from the street to the gallery.
A few years ago, they figured out smaller projects might just have a bigger impact.
We'd seen this idea being done like all over the world, and we just thought, why aren't we doing it here in Houston?
Up Art pitched a partnership to the city of Houston, and the program's been wildly successful. Here's how it works. If you want to sponsor a cabinet, visit the website for the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. Click on Traffic Signal Control Cabinet Murals and fill out the form. There are a few layers of approval after hitting submit.
That can vary anywhere from like a month to 6 months.
Then artists like Perez can get to work, sharing their skill and vision all over Houston.
That's what I love about this project is being able to put art in communities that are often lacking it.
If seeing art in a studio setting is a little more appealing, it's time to swing by Hardy & Nance. The 17,000 square foot building is home to 33 studios shared by about 50 in-house artists. And the third Saturday of every month, the studios open up for a free themed art show. The public's invited to see the gallery, but also to visit with the artists. The fresher the ingredients, the better the meal, right? Well, one Houston restaurant is taking that idea to the next level.
So right here I have KHOU, which is more in the bok choy family. I have marigolds growing up there.
It's a garden chef Rufi Suleiman is proud to show off right in the middle of the lobby of Hilton Americas Houston. He got the idea for a hotel garden about a decade ago.
I was going to use one of the roofs on the top shelf, and my GM suggested, chef, you know, there's something called farm shell. Have you looked into that yet? And I'm like, you know what, let me check on that.
8 years ago, the hotel made the investment into the hydroponic system that now provides fresh produce for 1600 Bar and Grill and the hotel's other dining options.
This is where I actually do the seedlings. I have them here to germinate. Once they germinate, then we move them up to this level, as you can see. And from this point on, it's going to start growing, and it will grow up to the point where you see them over there. And it takes about 3 weeks.
3 weeks until the crop is ready to harvest.
We use the komatsuna in our roasted vegetables, and this one here we use in our most of our salads.
It makes sourcing ingredients for dishes incredibly easy.
I can develop a recipe and get the plant for the recipe, knowing that in 3-4 weeks I can use that particular plant in my food.
Like Genovese basil.
So fragrant, so fresh. So we're gonna do some cooking with this now.
Which Chef Rufi turned into pesto for this pasta dish. And then he added a little fresh basil, of course.
That will be tossed with the pasta. This is part of the things that I like to do as a chef. to do something that we can grow here, show it to our guests, get the plants from here, and cook with it right away. It can't get any fresher than that.
This is the final dish, and if you want to try it for yourself, it's on the menu here at Hilton Americas. All you have to do is ask for the chicken pesto cavatappi.
You can actually not just grow plants for food, you can grow plants for your drinks.
Like the surprise spritz here with that garden fresh basil. The marigold that's about ready to pick also makes a great addition to drinks, so you can see it in the lobby, then taste it in the restaurant.
It's a conversational piece.
It's great to be able to grow those fresh ingredients, but some of the best food in the world has to travel quite a distance to get to Houston. Terramar Imports does the heavy lifting, curating a tasty collection of European breads, cheeses, meats, spreads, oils, and more. The best part is you can shop it all online, pick it up in person, or have it delivered in one day if you live in Houston. But on a day when you just want to wander and shop, you got to stop by the Ironworks building in the East End. Shop, eat, work. At Ironworks, you can do it all.
It's unique in that you have different little businesses.
The project is the brainchild of developer Andrew Caldis.
I'm really proud of this project. I've been doing this for 28 years in Houston. I started out in Montrose area, downtown, midtown, and been over on the east side for about 7 years.
That's where he discovered the old Cameron Ironworks building.
This one is real special because it's really a historic landmark.
The first part of which was built in the 1920s.
It does have a lot of history. That to me makes it even more exciting.
Caldis says he worked with the Texas Historical Commission to preserve that history, on display throughout the original building.
Doing our demolition to see like crown molding, doors, etc. Even had windows, original windows that were behind some of the sheetrock.
He also restored the building's 2,500 windows, replacing almost every pane of glass.
All of the windows frames that you're seeing in this building are original.
His preservation approach extended to the building's addition, which went up in the 40s.
Part of doing a historic development, at least in this industrial building, they want to make sure you keep how the building was. So in this one, the expansiveness, the steel.
Confronted with the challenge of keeping the building open while also creating space for retail,
I said, I've got an idea.
Caldis installed shipping containers instead of standard walls.
They don't obstruct the view in the building, especially since it's in the industrial side of Houston. I think it just, it's kind of neat. Just makes it, to me, more unique.
These are all locally owned, as mom and pop as it gets.
This has offered a platform for those people to come in and, do something they've always wanted to do.
The containers house vintage shops and local creators, candles and creams, handmade jewelry, sweet treats, teas and tinctures, an ever-evolving collection of vendors, not the least of which are Segundo Coffee Lab and Second Slice Sandwich Shop.
To see people, chase their dreams and actually, realize, what, I can do it. I can have this and do a business. To me, that to me gives me more gratification. That to me is, I get a real kick out of that.
You can support those dreams and get just about anything you're looking for with a visit to Ironworks.
Just come out and check it out.
On the topic of old buildings getting makeovers, the historic Lee Kempner House in Galveston is in the middle of a massive restoration. Since we first highlighted the project, some exciting updates. Self-guided, guided, and special interest tours are now happening as the construction schedule allows. Check out leekempnerhouse.org to learn more about the tours and the slate of upcoming events. Galveston is loaded with history, as is the town of Rosenberg. A museum there celebrates the industry that built its community, railroads.
We're at the Rosenberg Railroad Museum. For so long, people traveled, by horse and buggy or by boat, but really to develop the United States, it took railroads to get people where they needed to go. We like to preserve that history and tell the story of how it's impacted us today.
On its 2 acres, right alongside 4 very active railroad tracks, the museum uses a variety of spaces to bring that history to life.
We have 2 large buildings, a gallery building and an education station that houses our model train exhibit.
7 layouts, each with different gauges of train and very different landscapes. But the largest track is outside.
It has what we call a G gauge or G scale model train on it, and it is a depiction of Fort Bend County in the 1950s.
The garden track is connected to the gallery building.
The gallery building is really the story and the history of railroading in Fort Bend County. Our staff here are all trained to deliver that history in an educational and fun way and to really relate it to our guests, no matter if they're 2 years old or 65 years old.
Admission includes a tour with a docent who will take you through those buildings as well as to historic Tower 17.
The only surviving rail structure in Rosenberg, Texas.
Which was decommissioned in 2003.
It basically controlled the flow of traffic, if you will, on the tracks for 100 years, which is amazing because it has all of the technology from the electro-manual computer, so you're pulling levers to control signals and tracks, to telegraphs, to candlestick phones, to technology in the early 2000s.
The Quebec is one of 2 rail cars that you can tour on site here at the museum. And you really ought to, because none of the video that I will show you will do it justice. You've got to come and see it in person.
It's been restored to its 1920s glamour. It's really neat to see.
And there are so many other interesting stops on the property. You can check out an old bathhouse, the only spot where rail workers could bathe. Take the kids to the Discovery Room to learn and play. Tour this collection of antique speeders used to cart crews along the tracks.
We hope when people visit us, they take away a little bit of information about how railroading has impacted the area, the development of so many areas.
As always, we have more information about when you can visit and admission fees on khou.com/hidden gems. It only takes about 30 minutes to find an area where there's been no development. Brazos Bend State Park. Stretching about 5,000 acres, the park is a collection of swamps, marshes, forests, and prairies, just like the rest of Houston used to be. Those ecosystems support a huge wildlife population, including alligators. About 350 adult alligators call the park home at any given time. And Brazos Bend is also where you'll find the George Observatory.
Further out, the more you'll see.
Far out and far out is how you might describe the George Observatory, a satellite location of the Houston Museum of Natural Science.
With our location in a state park, we are insulated a little bit from that light pollution, so we do get a chance to see things that you normally would never be able to see in the city.
Tucked inside Brazos Bend State Park, the observatory offers visitors a rare chance to look through a 36-inch research-grade telescope.
Where are you going to go to look through a scope where you can physically look through the scope and see what's up in the sky and see something where you're looking back in time?
Though it is the largest telescope on the observation deck, it's not the only one. The Museum of Natural Science has 2 others, and volunteers bring their own.
When you're here on a Saturday night, what you can expect is time on the deck exploring whatever image our volunteers have trained their equipment on.
They can help you look deep into space.
Oh, it's awe-inspiring.
To see the moon, nebulas, galaxies.
Depends on the age of the people. I mean, the little kids, it's just, wow, you know, it's just something unique for them. Older people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It's why we do what we do. We love that aha moment.
More than just a collection of telescopes, the observatory is a gateway to understanding the vast mysteries that dot the night sky, which you can learn more about in the exhibit area.
Make it a day. Come out to Brazos Bend State Park, come to us at night, look at the stars.
For a very different view of the night or day sky, you can visit Post Houston's Skylawn. The rooftop garden's free to visit, though you do have to pay to park. What used to be the main distribution headquarters for the Postal Service in Houston is now a thriving ecosystem of restaurants, retailers, a music venue, and this rooftop getaway. What might just look like a hole in the wall in Rice Village is actually an icon in the Houston theater community. This is Main Street Theater.
We were founded in 1975, but we've been here since the early 80s, and this is our main stage. This is where we do our plays for adults.
The space on Times Boulevard only seats about 100.
Our performance style, our aesthetic that we've developed over the years is an intimate one. You're sharing the experience in a way that is so intimate and personal, not us pulling you on stage, but you're sharing a moment in time that's not gonna happen exactly the same way again.
Theater is about human connection, about experiencing a story together. The environment certainly helps, but the talent on stage and off does most of the heavy lifting.
We are so fortunate. There are so many extraordinary artists in Houston, certainly actors, but also designers, directors, stage managers, crew. And it takes everybody to make that work.
In many cases, those folks share their skills with any number of theaters around Houston, each of which has its own personality, its own niche.
You're gonna see things here that you wouldn't see there, that you wouldn't see here, that you will see here, you know, that kind of thing.
So at Main Street,
our audiences are curious, they're hungry for more, they want to know more, they wanna really get invested in it intellectually, emotionally. We can't fly in a chandelier or something, which is amazing, and you can do that in other spaces. But what we can do is bring you right into the heart of the story and say, let's do this story together, and we love that.
In addition to the 6 adult plays, which each run for about 4 weeks during its season, Main Street also produces 7 shows for kids at Match.
Our Theater for Youth also tours across Texas, and so we'll bring the theater to you if you can't come here, because again, if we can't connect, then that's, you know, that's why we want to be here, so.
It sounds like something out of a kid's movie, but there's a local club with a super secret clubhouse. The club's not secret though. It's definitely more of a hidden gem. The sound is unmistakable. Those bells and chimes are signs you wandered into a pinball arcade. This one's reserved for members of the Space City Pinball League.
Space City Pinball is a pinball organization in Houston, Texas. We organize tournaments and pinball events in the Houston area.
In an unmarked building, behind these doors, you'll find the super secret clubhouse for Space City Pinball.
Super secret clubhouse, that is part of the title.
It's called the Wormhole.
I think there are 24 machines at this one now, yeah, and they rotate constantly. Yeah, this is a fairly unique place where there's 24 games.
The day I drop by is the start of the Whopper, one of the biggest tournaments the league has hosted.
You have to have lots of machines to play pinball tournaments, and they're heavy and expensive, and it's tough to actually make happen.
But Phil Grimaldi and some friends did when they started bringing pinball players together back in 2015.
You know, it's grown from just being tournaments to just being sort of a community of pinball players.
The focus here is fun.
Competition pinball is a thing. We do try and have, you know, serious tournaments here and try and let the cream rise to the top, so to speak. But, you know, our number one priority is everyone to have fun.
Grimaldi says about 500 people of all ages and all skill levels compete in league events. Most of them from the Houston area, but some from out of town.
We have a lot of visitors that come through and play with us.
All you need to join the league is a passion for pinball.
It's open to anybody that wants to play. You don't even need to be a pinball wizard or anything like that. You can come and you can learn a lot from the people that are here, and everybody's super friendly, and we'd love to have you.
If you want to join the league or learn more about any of the other gyms I've mentioned in this episode, here's what you need to do. Go to khou.com/hidden gems. It has write-ups that include links. It also features an interactive map of gems, from public art at Sam Houston State to the retreat at Artesian Lakes to Smith Oak Sanctuary to Galveston tree sculptures to Angleton heart sculptures to Splashway Water Park and Campground and everything in between, like Memory Park in Montgomery. You'll find an almost zen waterfall and stream, a pond stocked with huge koi, and individual nooks that have been dedicated in honor or memory. Or out at the Cavenders on 290, you can meet the Houston Hat Guy. He'll help you pick a hat, shape it, brand it, and keep it looking good. Down in Alvin, you can pick fresh produce right off the vine at Froberg's Farm, which has been around since 1936. Pearland is home to the Fight Bridge Bat Colony. Time your visit right, just before dusk, and you'll be able to see the bats take off to go hunting each night. Even Jaffet Creek, a tiny green space inside 5th Ward, about to undergo a massive transformation, all thanks to the Buffalo Bayou Partnership. If you visit any of these gems, we want to know about it. You can upload photos and video of your visit by using the Near Me feature on the KHOU 11 News app. It is super easy. And before we go, thank you to everyone who sent in their hidden gem recommendations. If you have a place I need to check out, email me. I'm at bsmith@khou.com. Thanks for watching and happy exploring.